On Wednesdays, I love to have AfroEconomics Live. We have graduated from just a teleconference to we are doing live webinars. You can log in through your telephone, you can log in through your PC, you can just listen in. Make sure you go to afroeconomics.com. I have the website behind me and register so that you'll get all of the information each week on the webinars. And we do a couple. We even have the small business discussions called Let's Talk Business. That live webinar is on Sundays. This Saturday, yep, look at the picture. We'll be in the New York office. That's the grand open. It's open, but I'm calling this my grand opening. And it is at Black Wall Street Black. That's our website specifically for this event. We're bringing our own Black Wall Street to New York. Yes, the address is 1441 Broadway, but it's Black Wall Street Black to us, right? So make sure you register. And I'm definitely offer for those of you who have registered, look out for a webinar that you registered for the webinar. You will receive, a few of you, a free ticket to, if you're in that area. So first, you have to be registered if you're in the area, because I know that it's a short notice. I'm going to give you a ticket to the brunch. We're having it's called an executive continental breakfast. It's going to be available, and we're going to talk about some of the things we're discussing now, because I want to talk about the history of Black wealth, and I want to move forward on the future of Black wealth. So we're going to talk about investing, the stock market, the real estate market, investing in all types of investments. As your investment advisor, I want to make sure that we talk about financial empowerment and how it can grow wealth within our Black community. As we celebrate our history, I want us to be energized and focus on ways of financial empowerment all the time, right? All the time. So let's look at some key points before I let y'all go. I want to do some key points on, think about this. Who is your most prominent? And we think about it historically, looking back, who was the most prominent person not living, the most prominent Black business person that that you feel influenced you, the most, or you found motivating, or, who was that person? Do you know of a Black business that you did business with over the years, and that your grandparents did business with, and they're still existing today? A lot of what we talk about as entrepreneurship members of AfroEconomics, because we have individual, we have family, we have entrepreneurship membership. We talk about making a sustainable business so that you're building that first principle of AfroEconomics, building a legacy so that your business can go on for generations and generations beyond you. That's true wealth right there. So we are investing your lifetime, your career right now into something that can feed your family even long beyond your days. So when we think about Black business, did you know that Black business, and I'm sure you probably did, dates back to slavery, and right after after slavery, the emancipation and civil rights permitted businessmen to operate inside the American legal structure. So it allowed Black businessmen to operate inside the American legal structure starting in the Reconstruction era. That's 1863 to 1877 and beyond. So by the 1890s, thousands of small business operations had opened in urban areas, and I'm talking about Black business operations. The most rapid growth came in the early 20th century as the increasingly rigid Jim Crow system of segregation moved urban Blacks into a community large enough that all of us were able to support a Black business establishment. Now, the National Negro Business League which was promoted by Booker T. Washington, the League had over 600 chapters. That's the National Negro Business League, reaching every city that had a significant Black population in the United States of America. African Americans, according to this research, African Americans have operated virtually every kind of business, but some of the most prominent Black-owned businesses were insurance companies, banks, recording labels, funeral parlors, barbershops, beauty salons, restaurants, record stores, and bookstores. By 1920, there were tens of thousands of Black businesses. The great majority of them were quite small, but we did have businesses. The largest were insurance companies. And I really can't rapidly think about any Black-owned insurance companies that are that I can immediately do a quote for some of my clients for. But I'm going to continue. This really made me think about it because, JB Bryan Financial Group is also an insurance agency. So I place clients and members of AfroEconomics, if they have insurance needs, with insurance companies. My firm is an insurance broker. So we're not an insurance company, but I got to find a Black insurance company that wants to insure some of my customers, because I don't want to say, but I think this might be true, they're all gone. So, and there's even a decline in Black-owned insurance agencies I've seen. You used to be able to, see a lot of Black-owned insurance agencies. Now you'll see a lot of Black insurance agents, but you don't see a lot of Black insurance agencies like mine that you can come to get your car, your home, your life, your health insurance. Nor do we think about it. We should think about it more. I want to encourage all of you out there that you're listening, that next time you have to make a decision like that, go to my website, and look. Like, you can click right there to open an investment account. You can look right here to do all of your financial things, insurance coverage, all of that. So, just go and look, click here for a quote and complimentary consultation for an insurance quote. We have to, consider taking the time out to look and see if there are Black businesses that can serve your need. Now, I'm not one to say that you should only do business with Black businesses, but I do feel that you should consider Black businesses as you are making your sex selections, making purchases. I would not, that you should consider Black businesses in that thought. We don't think about it. So, but there are a lot of Black businesses that are front and center in your face. Like, a lot of you listen to me every week, and you pay insurance every month, and you don't think, wow, let me call her, or you're, switching jobs and you're looking at investment opportunities, or you want to do financial planning and you want to get your credit straight. Let me call her. Let me talk to someone at let me talk to JB at AfroEconomics. Let me get, some help. The least thing that you can do for yourself is take advantage of a complimentary consultation if you have Black professionals that offer that. I know I do. And people just don't take advantage of the opportunity to get information from people that look like you. So I feel that we have a responsibility to each other to do that. At least, seek it out, at least consider it, at least get a quote from, at least try, because that is how we will be able to keep each other in jobs. If you build up Black businesses hire people that look like their customers. So Black businesses tend to have Black customers. Black customers will be comfortable with Black employees, and you'll build a stronger world for everyone, because no one in this country or any country, wants to have an unemployment rate. And we definitely want to, make sure that we create career opportunities for people, and that you can do that by starting a business. You start a business, you don't have to worry about your children not having jobs when they finish college. They're going off to college, they bring that knowledge back to your business. So that's why I think that as we celebrate Black History Month, we need to celebrate it by seeking out Black businesses, thinking about how much business do you do with people that look like you. If you do business with a Black business, if for some reason they disappoint you, make sure you communicate that disappointment to them. Make sure you let them know what they could do better, what they could do to gain more of your business, and how they can do that. Give them the suggestions that you have before we just, sever the relationship. Give them a second chance. I hear people all the time and they go, well, I try to do business with a Black business, but then they messed up, or they didn't show up to cut the grass on time, or something like that. So make sure that you realize that you're talking about human beings. You're not talking about machines, that we tend to be in service industries, and that services are going to involve a human being, and human beings do err. So give them the benefit of the doubt and communicate that. And I also encourage, and totally, in the Black Business Summit, next one is going to be in New York, we talk about making sure that we stay on point, that we have our businesses at a certain level of excellence and continue to pursue excellence. I know that is our intention. I know it is. So let's look at, I thought was an interesting point, and that it says between 1865 and the 1900s, by the late 1880s, there was a remarkable development of Negro businesses, banks, insurance companies, undertakers, retail stores. It occurred at a time when the Negro barbers, tailors, caterers, trainmen, blacksmiths, and other artisans were losing their white customers. Isn't that something? So what happened was, historically, our businesses were developed after slavery to serve white customers. It was like, well, let's get that Negro into that business, and he could do that. And then white customers decided, really probably, this could have been why they stopped doing business with the Black businesses. They weren't comfortable with paying them. They were like, what? They used to do that to me for free. That was my slave. Now I got to pay them. So all of a sudden, we had to depend on each other for our success. So depending upon the Negro market, explains, the promoters of the new enterprises naturally upheld the spirit of racial self-help and solidarity. So Black business has evolved really to serve each other and to help each other. We did not have any other place where we could go and do business. So our businesses prospered because we were focusing on servicing us. I saw an interesting, it was talking about how Pepsi was like one of the first companies that really started, a major corporation that started marketing aggressively to us. It says the national market. Most national corporations before the 1960s ignored the Black market and have paid little attention to working with Black merchants or hiring Blacks for responsible positions. Pepsi Cola was a major exception. As the number 2 brand of Coca-Cola, the upstart soda hired a Black man named Edward Boyd, a pioneer Black advertiser. And Boyd hired local Black promoters who penetrated into Black markets across the South and the urban North. So they used this Black skilled, he knew about the Black market. That was his specialty. And he got Black people to start drinking Pepsi Cola. And it's got ads, with this picture has a little Black boy and he's reaching for some soda. and this is Pepsi Cola certified quality. And it was bigger bottles. So it was like, if you are black and you want to drink, and you want to save money, drink Pepsi Cola because it's quality and you get more soda. Oh my goodness. Wouldn't it be interesting to have see research about how our health started declining as we started drinking the liquid, toxic, sugary, nasty soda? It says Pepsi advertisements avoided the stereotypical images common in the major media that depicted one-dimensional Aunt Jemimas and Uncle Bens whose role was to draw a smile from white customers. Instead, it portrayed black customers as self-confident, middle-class citizens who showed very good taste in their soft drinks. Isn't that interesting? And that's when it happened in the 1960s, where they said, these blacks have some money and we're going to get it. And then we started pushing ourselves, and saying, you better let me in here, sitting at the Woolworth counter. And we wanted to get in, and Woolworth said no. And it's something, it's like, you say, no, I don't want you. It's kind of just naturally that you feel like, how are you going to tell me no? You got to let me come here. And then we never left. Like, we stopped going to our own stores. So the store said no. And they said, okay, you can come, you can buy here. And not realizing that that would be to the demise of our store that had been servicing us because nobody wanted you in the store. We forgot to support our own stores. We forgot the legacy. We forgot that this, our loyalty was diminished because we just said, well, it's important. They don't really want me here. So I'm going to go and buy from people that don't really want me here, but they have to let me in because they have to. So we did it. And then now I realize that if a person doesn't want to do business with me, if they don't want our money, then don't give them your money. But we hadn't been socialized at that point to realize the major move that we were making, the major purchasing power that was being accumulated in the government jobs and and in the businesses that black people were getting, because there was a movement that the government and corporations were forced to hire these people. So they were like, well, these people, us, are making a lot of money. Let's make sure we go get some of that money. And they were smart. And then what it did was hurt our businesses. So because as we were segregated, and here's a writing here from 1900 to 1930, blacks were increasingly segregated. However, the more they were cut off from the larger white community, the more black entrepreneurs succeeded in establishing flourishing businesses that catered to a black clientele. So now you'll see that we have less businesses that actually focus on serving a black clientele. Little to none. I don't know any other registered investment advisory firms that focus on the black-owned business, the black clientele. That is what I do. That is a rarity now. But being rare and being unique, that you don't get like any kudos for that. And, and it's sad to say that, that we don't give value to people who decide to focus on serving us. And that's something that we really need to think through, because we give a lot of credit to white companies, the majority owned white companies. If they say, we're doing this legacy brand, or just say Harley Davidson. I drive a Harley Davidson, and Harley Davidson has a special patch for black people. They made a special push, and they have special programs and special things for the black rider because they want black people to ride their motorcycles. And we're excited about that. But black people really don't get excited about the fact, not the majority of black people, that AfroEconomics focuses on researching Black history, researching Black consumer decisions, researching the Black financial challenges, researching things that affect the Black family the most. We don't. And needless to say, it's still going to be my mission to leave on this planet a stronger Black community. Because constantly people are putting out information about our businesses are small, that our businesses are on the decline, that less government contracts are going to Black businesses, that Black wealth gap is getting larger and larger, that, that Black unemployment, is always twice that of, the majority. Black people make less money than Black people. So these things are constantly pushed down our throat. And I will constantly make a commitment to serve us and to change that. I will die trying to make sure that that wealth gap, it disappears because we are moving our wealth up. That's why. I don't need anybody's wealth to come down for me to move your wealth up. And we can do this. We can do this. So let's remember that here's an interesting point too. It says one of the leading centers of Black businesses was Atlanta. And then another was Durham, North Carolina, because it was a new industrial city based on tobacco manufacturing. And there was a growth in Black businesses in Durham. So that was interesting. We have to also note, what happened to Booker T. Washington's National Negro Business League was the most prominent Black business organization. I wonder, I should research that, see what happened to that organization. He moved from city to city to sign up local Black entrepreneurs into his national network, the National Negro Business League. Amazing. In the 1920s, the federal government has set up a small unit to distribute information to Black entrepreneurs, but no financial aid was forthcoming. We have had to do this on our own. I want to say, let's make sure we take time to celebrate and acknowledge Black history. During this month, I encourage you to support a Black business. Realize the importance of the Black business. The bottom line is Black business is important because Black businesses hire Black people, and you are a Black person. And when it's all said and done, we're all going to have to depend on each other. And no society will prosper without us learning to take care of ourselves and pushing forward for financial independence. And what is a great way to become financially independent? Creating a job for yourself, your family, your friends, your community, for the world. Business helps the economy. So remember the history of Black business. It was built by some strong people, and they still continue today. Thank you all for supporting this Black-owned business. I appreciate you. I really do. Happy Black History Month. Enjoy your day. And if you have any questions, you know where I am. AfroEconomics.com. Click chat now. JB@AfroEconomics.com. Check out the event. Don't miss the New York Black History Brunch. We're going to talk more about this, and we're going to talk about what to do next. Let's keep moving forward. Be blessed, y'all. Stay positive.